Yuhan and Sarang, are you ready for our story tonight?
Yes, Mommy.
Okay, let's go! The title of our story tonight is entitled Rapunzel. This is Rapunzel. Let's find it out what happened in the story. Once upon a time, there was a couple. Every day, they prayed to God to have a child. Behind the couple's house was a big garden with a high fence. People seemed scared of the garden, and nobody had ever dared to come into it because it belonged to a witch with endless powers. So
When you touch it,
everybody was afraid of
when
her.
you like the witch, right, Mommy?
Yeah, so you are not going to touch it.
Oh, right, Mommy?
One day, the wife saw lots of fresh and green lettuces
The lettuce.
growing in the garden.
Lettuce?
The
This one
lettuce
is lettuce.
looked so delicious, and her mouth watered.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel.
When she realized that she could not eat these lettuces, she felt really upset. Her husband loved her very much. Therefore, he sneakily went into the garden and pulled a lettuce out. When the witch found out, she was very angry. The witch said to him,
I can forgive you this time, but you must bring me your baby when your wife gives birth.
Of course, the husband didn't agree with when their little baby born.
Okay.
The witch came and grabbed it and then flew away. The witch named the baby Rapunzel.
Why have cool goggles for?
A few years later, Rapunzel had grown up into a beautiful young lady. But the witch locked her in a room which was on the top of a high tower. This tower was in a forest. It had no stairs and doors, only one little window above it. Here's the window. Whenever the witch wanted to come into the tower, she would call out Rapunzel to drop down her long hair through the window. Rapunzel unpinned her long hair and dropped it down through the window.
Mommy,
Then the witch would climb up.
Mommy, that's his prince.
One day, a young handsome prince was walking past the tower. Suddenly, he heard Rapunzel's beautiful singing and was attracted by her voice. The prince climbed up the tower, following what the witch did. Afterwards, they fell in love at first sight. Soon, the witch found out what had happened between the prince and Rapunzel. She cut off Rapunzel's long hair and sent her deep into the forest. Look what happened to Rapunzel's hair. It becomes short. Next day, when the prince came to the tower, the witch dropped down Rapunzel's long hair. The prince held the hair and climbed up. When he came in, he found Rapunzel was not there. The witch told him that Rapunzel has already died. The prince was so sad, and he jumped off the tower. From the fall, the prince hurt his eyes, so he had to walk blindly in the forest. At the time when he walked deep into the forest, he discovered Rapunzel. Rapunzel recognized him and she burst into tears. When her ears trapped on the prince's eyes, he suddenly could see again. Then he took Rapunzel back to his kingdom, and they lived happily ever after.
Queen and the king.
Yeah, she's a princess and he is a king. Okay, how do you find our story?
Prince and king.
Okay.
And princess. And he looked like a queen.
Yes, that's the end of our story. Good night. Bye bye. See you tomorrow morning.